Afternoon, Taylor.
Hello, Jason. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm just finishing up my I don't know, singular meal of the day, whatever one wants to call that.
Just the old breaking of the fast.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Jess is on her way. She's just running a minute or two behind. So,
Sure.
and then it's me and you right now. Yep.
All right. Well, good deal.
What are you working on these days that you need help with?
Well, not a whole lot, I guess. Jessica and I talked today about some golden letter stuff. Gave me some cool insight on how to autofill the name and address in.
Ah,
Called mail merge.
yep. That is a fancy thing to get that all done.
Yes.
Have you do you use smart plans at all?
Yes. Yep.
Good. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to create a new command thing and show you a nice new combination golden letter smart plan kind of deal.
All right.
Ugh. Sorry, I got to switch me out of my team. Come on, you slow library. If you sing to it, it works.
It worked.
So if you go in your smart plan name and change the author name to dollar, I ran into this agent while I was at family reunion, and she's super clever. And there's a couple different smart plans in here that I really like that she's written. This first one is a favor, can you help? And just a simple email that goes out to people. And this is, I mean, if you haven't really looked through the library, if you view steps, you can see what the email actually would comprise of.
Yeah.
In this case, hey, contact first name. So, hey, Barry, we'd like to ask you a favor. As you may have heard, the real estate market is hot. The challenge is not enough homes listed for sale for all the buyers looking. In fact, we're working with a number of buyers that are struggling. So here's our favor. Who do you know who might be thinking of moving? Could you introduce us? We may have a buyer ready to pay top dollar, right? Pretty simple. It then puts your name, Taylor Allen, and then your app link, and it sends it out. And then 2 days later, if you're using Twilio, it'll shoot out a contact or a text to them.
I set up Twilio.
Super quick, bam, bam, email, 2 days later, text, kind of smart plan, but it's a really solid one. Hey, there's Grace.
I like it.
But that's again under dollar in the smart plans if you change the author name.
Right
Hey,
now.
Grace,
Hi,
how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're talking through smart plans. Do you use smart plans or not yet? Or
I don't use them, but I am familiar with them a little bit.
so we are in the library of smart plans, and I was just going over with Taylor. a couple smart plans that I picked up while I was at family reunion from a great agent named Nakia Dollar, who uses these smart plans to be effective and fun.
Okay.
And the first one we talked about is a favor, can you help? But the other one is golden letter, email, and follow-up. And this one has almost 1,800 downloads. And if we look at the steps, you get this email. It says, we'd like to ask you about this, hey, Joe, I'd like to ask you a favor. Heard the real estate market is hot. Again, the same thing that we looked at before. This one ends text and then follows up with a phone call. So that's the golden email. But the one that she was talking about now, and since you're sending it to your own contact list, the golden equity email and follow-up is actually I think a little bit stronger and a little less, I don't know, strange to people you already know, right? You may have heard the real estate market is hot. Interest rates are low, and there's a heavy buyer demand for homes that are affecting property values. We found many homeowners don't know how much equity they have in their largest investment. So this is saying, hey, I'm not here to sell your house. I just want to create a relationship with you, come out to your place and talk about how much equity is in your house right now. It even goes on to the bottom where it says there's no obligation to sell. We just want you to know about the value of your property. This is the business that I want when you, human being, who I'm sending this to, thinks about real estate, I want you to think about me. And in order to do that, I'm willing to send you this email, or I'm willing to come out to your house and go over it with you, this fantastic email. And that smart plan, again, is in the library. If you look up Nakia Dollar as your author name, golden equity email and follow-up. And I really like that one to your existing sphere. And as long as you've got your email, you're firing those bad boys out. I thought today would be really cool if I brought a guest. So I've got this one right here. Check her out. And,
Hello, guest.
Oh, hello.
Stranger.
it's like she's in
Yes.
charge of this thing, but now she's a guest. See, she's done. We've cut her
We're
off.
done
Exit,
with her.
stage left. Bam. How do you know? All right, lady. You can
Okay.
begin now. Now that we've talked about a couple smart plans, I think are really good. Golden Equity by Nakia Dollar, and then the other one up here towards the top, which is a favor, can you help? Great smart
Favor,
plans.
Can you help? Okay, I'm just reminding the people who aren't on that they need to get on. And I was reminding Tom, and there he is. Look at that, it was like magic.
Ta-da!
Ta-da. Okay, so, okay, I'm gonna start with like announcement-y kind of stuff, so that I don't forget.
Announcementy?
Announcement-y. People call it housekeeping, and I'm always like, housekeeping? What does that even mean?
Well, announcementy means it's fresh,
We
right?
have some housekeeping items. I'm like, are we making messes? I don't feel like we need to have housekeeping items. I'm just saying, I hate it when people say that.
Well,
Okay,
maybe you call them just chores.
but they're not chores. They're like reminders.
So
Like
what
when
it
they
is,
say,
it's the
here's a
routine
housekeeping,
thing.
here's some housekeeping things. The bathroom is down there. And I'm
Well,
like,
yes, but here's a housekeeping thing. I wash the towels and sheets every Thursday until Jess messed it
That
all up.
is a housekeep. That's a legit housekeeping item.
Right, but it's housekeeping because I do it every Thursday. See, we're providing the ground rules for this business.
But if we say where the bathroom is that really housekeeping?
No, it's ground rules.
Okay,
You say, here's the bathroom and you can't go
We-
because if you go, you don't get credit. for
we are
CE.
digressing. Right? Okay, speaking of CE, you guys, we have free CE coming up and you should, well, it's not free. It's the Bloomington. And Tom, I thought of you when it came across. The Bloomington Tisch is changing and Truth in Housing. So it's 3.75. So I would get that on your calendar. It's $20. And if you can do anything in person, it's way better than sitting in front of a computer. I don't know. I just feel
I don't
like,
think they can do it. in Zoom.
no, but I mean, like if you were going to do something online, like when you were
Oh,
doing.
She's
a-
saying it's better to go sit in a classroom and do it than to try to read those things online and have to follow that stupid timer.
Right.
oh
and
yeah,
then-
but you can't do push-ups in the classroom.
Well,
You can't do push-ups in the classroom.
You probably can.
You think they'd let me?
I-
We'll find out.
I think.
You
yeah.
could, I
If
mean,
you're
if you
there,
want
you're
to,
gonna see.
We're
what are they
gonna
gonna do?
find
Say,
out.
stop it?
What are you doing? I'm trying to get around the annoying question.
I'm bored, just keep going.
I'm working on my one word.
When is
Fitness.
that?
Oh my God. Okay, and now of course I don't have a calendar in here.
You keep talking
For,
and I'll
okay,
have a date.
thank you. Okay, so that's the thing that's coming up. When he's gonna tell you. Okay, the next thing that I want you to make note of is St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
On
St. Patty's
On
Day.
St. Patrick's Day, how do you get it to the gallery view?
I don't use gallery. I don't even know what
Why?
that is.
Gallery, there we go. When you want to have a good time, oh my gosh, okay, oh, it's the same day. Oh my gosh, it's the 17th. Okay, so
St.
St. Patrick's Day at
1 PM.
1 PM is the Tisch Bloomington changes, update and changes, right? That's 3.75 credits for you. Then later that evening, instead of having group coaching, what I would like to invite you to do is come with us to the St. Peter, right?
Yes, St. Peter.
Office. I'm like, wait, where is it? St. Peter office, because they're having a grand opening for Amber Seaver.
Don't peter out now.
Don't peter out. And we can carpool. Isn't that fun? And we can play games in the car. Just kidding.
What kind
I'm
of
kidding.
games in the car
I
are we
don't
gonna play here?
Like I Spy.
Or the license plate
He is
game.
not an I Spy player.
I do not have a little eye.
However, the thing is it's 5 to 7, I believe. They're going to have food. They're going to have music. It's going to be great. You're going to get to meet people. The other thing that I like to tell you is that when you meet agents that are out, we call it outstate, right? I thought that meant out of the state, but it doesn't. It means out of the Twin Cities. If you ever have anybody who wants to see a house down there, you can have them help you. So it's good to get to know people all over the place, right?
I can honestly tell you quite factually that Amber has referred clients to Kelly that she did not want to work with. So,
What? Right?
well, not
Business.
that she didn't want to work with, but didn't want to drive 3 hours to show a house up
Right.
in Maple Grove.
Yep. I mean, they'll say to us, so do you guys work, would you do this area? And yes or no, and then you have the transaction, right? You have the people. So that is the 17th, okay?
What other ideas you got, Clark Griswold?
Oh, okay. Well, then the next week is actually when I'm gonna be in Mexico and you're running this show. So we're just, stay tuned. Hopefully he doesn't start marking all over my office. That's really gonna be a problem.
What she doesn't know won't hurt her.
Someone wants to water the plants.
Well, I did water the plants, but, oh, whoops. And-
Fertilized now.
Stop. Okay, and then the 31st is going to be an exciting night. So instead of being on Zoom, like we always are, we're going to be in person, IP. And it's going to be you guys, and it's going to be all the other PC agents and leadership. And we are going to have a little din-din. And then maybe we can do something fun too, like
Oh,
surprise.
yay,
I'm
more
not even-
fun, Clark
even
W.
telling you.
Griswold.
not even telling you what the surprise is.
Moose out front should have told you the park's closed.
Moose out front. God. So
What
that
time
will
is that at
be-
the end of the month?
What's that?
What time is that at the end of the month?
So that will be, that'll be like 4:30. So if you guys get here on 4:30, just because a lot of leadership leaves at 5. So we want to not make them stay too much later. I mean, because I'm
It's
thinking
cool to be a
4.
leader, I guess. You're out of here at 4:30.
4
How about
is,
like 3:30?
I was gonna say 4 is kind of early, but like, what do you guys think? A lot of the other PC agents, they come, I mean, most of them come in person. So they are gonna be here anyway, right?
We were getting some real Brady Bunch action now.
We are, look at that, 6. So, yeah, what do you
5.
guys think? This
I
is
think the earlier the better, to be honest.
earlier the better.
Yeah, just because people are gonna have their normal work days and, kind of cutting that a little bit short, maybe instead of 5 o'clock. Maybe
Okay.
like 3:30 or 4. I know that Melissa Johnson doesn't stay normally past 3:30 anyway.
Oh, yeah,
She has to
and
get her girls from
Thursdays, we
school.
might have to just talk to her to have her stay, because she's never here on Thursdays.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get her, but I want it to be an opportunity for you guys to get to talk to leadership and, get to know them better if you don't know them very well, right?
We have
plus-
to bring some delicious stuff.
Yes, so we
I
have
love
to,
Cook.
oh, look at you. We have to figure out who wants to bring what. So if you guys have a favorite thing that you make, then all of a sudden on the count of 3, we're just going to yell it out. I'm just kidding. That's part of the game. No, but if you have
Food.
something that
Oh,
you
I mean-
love to bring, and then you can just, I don't know, you can just let me know what it is. Tell Irene. She'll be like, why are you telling me foods? Right?
She'll be mad at me. She'll call me. I don't understand what you're telling me.
I don't know why you like pickles, cream cheese wrapped in ham. Why do you keep telling me this?
Minnesota sushi.
Oh my God, I never
What
knew
if we
that.
did like a Facebook thing, like a Facebook post, and then everybody could comment that way we all
Yes.
know.
Can you
what
do
we're
that,
bringing.
Grace?
Yeah. In the
Okay,
PC group.
great. You're so good. Thank
I'm
you.
on it. Just call
I
me.
knew there
every
was a
week.
way
I'm
to
on it.
do that. I just, limited.
What are you
capa-
bringing?
Limited capacity in my brain.
What are you bringing?
What am I bringing? What do I like to eat? What's my favorite thing? My favorite thing is chocolate cherry chunk cookies. Amy had some for Christmas.
They were good.
They're the best.
I was thinking about dessert too, but that's what I live for. So
Oh, we know. I
cream
just-
to mint brownies. So they're different.
Yes. What's your favorite?
I'd bring sauerkraut and dumplings,
Mm.
Sauerkraut and dumplings. What kind of dumplings?
like bready dumplings.
Like, do they have something inside them?
No, they're bread. They're like biscuits or something, but they're dumplings.
Oh, okay.
I would do like a Reuben dip.
I do make
Yeah.
a mean Reuben, but this, I
know if
throw
people
like
like that.
bratwursts in there
Yeah.
and they cook in the sauerkraut and then you cook the dumplings on top.
Ooh,
Oh, I'd eat that.
This is
that
not
sounds
good.
very good.
I've been fasting today and yesterday.
You have to eat them though before the Germans get here.
Is it German? I am German. My
I
last
am
name is
German.
Abschutter.
That's
my
what I'm
last name.
saying. And this one's like, what's sauerkraut? What's a
I
dumpling?
love sauerkraut. I just didn't know you put it with dumplings.
Yeah.
Like spatzel.
Oh.
Spatzel's kind of like dumplings.
Yes,
Oh my
kind of.
God.
It is kind
Off
of.
Point here. Okay.
Way off
So
track.
Grace, you're gonna do a Facebook thing.
Yep.
And that's perfect. And I'm gonna tell the rest of the people tonight that that's what that's about, right? And we're just doing the PC Facebook group because we could make everyone else jealous, but we're not going to.
It seems mean not to make them jealous.
Well, I'm not mean.
You said it was March 31st, right?
Yep. And then you guys are the first ones I'm talking to, so let's figure out a time. Cassandra, are you coming? What time can you be there? 31st. You're the only one that
What?
doesn't have her face on.
Clear. Oh, I have a face. I have a face.
You don't have your face on live.
Oh, here I am. Sorry. Here's my face.
Okay. It's
It's
such
on.
a cute face. You really should show it more often.
What is this for? I came in right when you guys started saying, what are we gonna make?
Yes, so this is, we're, once a quarter, we're going to have a little get together with all the PC agents and leadership. So
Okay.
we're doing a potluck and we
When
were,
she says pot, she's referring to the type of vessel that it is cooked in.
It's not
So-
legal here yet.
So we're not bringing drugs. Okay.
Amy did say
Bring
brownies.
all the drugs.
I did say brownies. I could add something into my brownie. There is a little bit of alcohol with the cream de mint.
Oh my
Oh
God.
no, we're all gonna be under the influence.
Yeah.
We are gonna be doing great. So we have to establish the time. So it's the 31st, it's a Thursday. It's our normal coaching. So, Cassandra, you are coming from the furthest. So you get to, if you're coming, you get to suggest the time that we start. What do you think of that?
Oh, wow, that's a lot of pressure on me. How's about, I'm just gonna say I'm always game on for the latest.
Grace was like the earliest.
The earliest.
Damn it, Cassandra. I'll do a poll on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
you
Even
go.
better. And then we'll just talk to, you and I can talk to leadership and see if they can,
Because they listen to me.
I mean, they're getting fed. They can stay till 5:30 if they're eating.
I'm on spring break that week, so I can come anytime.
Oh, yay!
Yes,
Okay.
I'm like, I think that's spring break. Anyways.
Perfect. Okay, so any questions on that? Anything else? Grace, I look forward to your wonderful planning.
Yep.
on Facebook. Okay, the let's see, housekeeping. I think I got everything there in March. So Sandra, I think you missed this first part. There's a CE Bloomington Tisch. We talked about that. That's the same, that's the 17th
At 1 PM.
at 1
Will we
PM.
be
And then
send, well, sorry, is there gonna be more information sent out on that, like location and all that?
it's at our office.
At our office, okay.
Yep.
And then do we just pay when we get there? Do we pay ahead of time? Is it added on to our monthly thing?
My recollection is it's added onto your monthly thing is what was commented in the Facebook post.
Okay, perfect.
That's
There you
easy.
go. And then.
But bring $20 in case you run out of gas.
It's fair.
Please just run out of gas.
My mom said carry $20 in case you run out of gas. Now I got, when she said that, it was valuable information. Now she might as well just say, if you run out of gas, you just run out of gas again. $20 isn't gonna help you.
Right.
I'll get you about a
20 bucks to get you
gallon.
3 blocks. And then Cassandra, the other thing we talked about was Amber Seaver is having her open house on that same day, the 17th. And so we are, I am encouraging all PC agents to have a field trip down to Amber's place.
Okay.
So.
Yep. I
Now,
already
mind
have that.
you, she is not technically opening her house. She's opening her office. So when it's,
Right.
don't want to be fully, I
But
mean,
she's close in Belle Plaine.
Right.
She's close, yeah.
but I'm just saying,
Right.
Amber, she's
No.
not inviting us into her home.
No, she is not. Hard pass on that, probably. All of us. I mean,
It's a lot of
we're
us.
lovely and
Moose out front should have told you.
hard pass. Okay. So, and then, yeah, so that brings us up to the end of March. So we're good there. And
Isn't
then,
there,
oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry. Isn't there, I have written down a 10:30 a.m. brunch, an awards thing for Kate, for our
On the
office?
30th.
On the 30th. Yes.
Okay.
You
We are
should all be
so
there.
loading up the end of the calendar. It's not even funny.
Yes. And Amy, that's your spring break. So you should be there. It's fun. It is free food. People just come and eat.
But
When
do
people tell you it's fun, doesn't that make you think it's gonna be fun?
No.
Well,
For sure.
It's
100%.
in-
Do
So
new
that's on the
people and new
30th?
agents and PC people usually go to those award ceremonies?
Yep.
Just like everybody?
Yep.
Is it at the office?
Nope. It is at.
Best
the-
Western
Oh,
across the
Best
street.
Western.
It's
That's
a big
right.
deal. It's like catered and we have mimosas and breakfast foods and fun times.
Who caters?
Yeah, the Morgans, the restaurant.
I know the owner of Morgan's. She's really nice.
Where's that restaurant?
The Best
In the Best
Western,
Western.
right up the street.
Oh,
on
what? They
Nicollet.
have a restaurant in there?
Yeah, it's called Morgan's
it
Farm to Table. And they specialize in
Farm to
Oh,
table.
farm to
I
table.
have seen that pop up on my DoorDash all the
Hmm.
time.
There you go.
Perfect.
Try it out. Yeah, okay. Is there anything else I'm missing? Again, I don't have the calendar in front of me.
I don't know.
Hey, he's teaching classes, you guys. Like he had one today.
Thursdays at 1 PM.
Yep.
Today was Basics in Command.
What is the rest of this month?
36 Touching You, Golden Letters, leads.
Leads.
What do you do with them?
What
What do you do with them?
What are we doing with them?
Lead conversion is the last week. Now, the one in the middle, third week of March, because there's 3 Thursdays in March. we have that CE class, so I will be there. But I don't really intend to have a class because I kind of suspect that you'll be in the CE.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, if there's somebody who goes, yeah, I'd love to come down to the office and not get credit for anything. But I don't know how to do stuff. I'm your guy.
But I don't know how to do stuff.
I'm your guy that day.
Yes. Okay, any other questions about March calendar or anything that we've talked about?
Jess, I'm
trying to-
gonna wait to post that poll and the food stuff until after you're done with the PC
Yes,
stuff
'cause
at
they will
like
be
7:30.
So confused. They'll be like,
Yeah.
why don't we get to go?
Yeah, I'll wait and
one's
I'll
the
say,
thinker.
as Jessica probably talked to you about, and then that way it'll make more
Yeah.
sense.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay, any other questions? Housekeeping items? No. Okay. So some of you have already heard this through your one-on-one. I am super excited about this. So I had a meeting with, his name is Gene, and he is the PC coach in Coon Rapids. And he had a super amazing idea. And I told my coach about it, and then she was super excited and she's going to do it. And then I started sharing it with PC agents and they were excited. So I'm sure some of you have seen Blake likes to do videos, and he just did one with me. It's going to be live tomorrow, people, a podcast. And
I've seen the rough cuts. I hope it gets better.
of him, right? Yes. So, and so I combined two ideas. So what Blake is going to do is, in the next 2 weeks, he and I are going to do a video of a buyer, like how I do a buyer consultation. And then, and I know that some of you have done buyers consultations anyway. And so I want you to ignore the fact that I'm saying that you have to do this. Not ignore the fact, but like, this is going to help you in your business, right? Like if I say you have to do this, you don't have to do it, and you're going to get business from it, right? So what I want you to do is 2 days out of the week is the goal, or 2 times in the week, to have a mock buyer consultation with a friend or a family member or somebody who knows you, right? Because what happens is when you do that, number one, you're going to practice and you're going to get better, right? Number two, what Gene said is that his agents are getting business from it, because they'll be like, well, they went out somewhere and they're like, oh yeah, well, Taylor was just at my house last night and I know he's a real estate agent. Like, do you want me to hook you guys up? Like, whatever. Right. So people are getting business from it. And if you think about it, like for our new agents, imagine if you've never been on a buyer consultation and your first one is that, right? The first one. So if you do 10, right? So the goal is that we do 2 a week, have in 5 weeks, we have 10 done, right? I'm not going to be like, holding your feet to a flame saying, did you get it done? Right. The thing is I know that it's going to be good for you. And I know that you're like Kermit the Frog here. You see what he's doing?
Yes.
And it's hard for me to focus when every now and then I get up.
Why are
So,
there so many songs about rainbows?
I don't know.
What's on the other side?
You're nuts. So after the goal is after 5, you get and you guys kind of give me your feedback on this. So after you do 5 practice buyer consults, what Gene does is he gives them the paperwork that is branded to them, right? So any paperwork that you would give, it would have all of your stuff on it, right? So like the info sheet, like when I first have a buyer consult and I have my logo stuff at the top, like it's actually you. I didn't tell you this yet, but you're going to create it. Are you
What?
okay with that?
I'm gonna create what?
The buyer consult stuff. Like if there's, He's gonna show us something. I feel something good happening.
Let's see what we
Well,
got
okay.
here. You keep talking.
When I say create it for you, like we're gonna get you the resources, right? Because I already know what he's doing to me.
What am I doing to you?
You're gonna show us in Command in designs.
No,
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 okay.
no, not exactly.
I asked him something the other day and he's like, let me Google that for you. It's actually a website
Yes.
and it's kind of like a slap in the face. Like, just go look it up yourself, you idiot.
Well, it does kind of work like that.
Anyway. Okay, so after those 5, right, then you do 5 more, and then after that, you're certified, right? You are certified to have, I don't remember the term he called it, but buyer consultation certification, right? So the goal is that, you know, we don't have agents running in saying, oh my God, I've never done a buyer consultation, and yeah, there it is. Right.
I guess I could do that for you.
Okay, okay, thank you. It's done. Look, he's already done. He did it. So
I want you to know that I did do this and it took me 26 minutes. I'm not even joking, 26 minutes.
super cool.
So it's all there. All you
What
gotta do
is
is
it?
be forwarded.
How many pages was that?
25, 24?
Yeah.
24,
So,
25.
So, okay, talking points. Tell me what you think of that, of those ideas. Where did they go? There they are.
They're back. I'm sharing the screen. No, I'm not sharing the screen.
Oh my God.
So I can see the 25 pages.
Got it. Do you think that would help you guys get more business?
Yes.
Do you already have a listing packet?
I have a half done one.
Do you have a buyer consultation packet?
Yes.
And
But I'm sure it could, always use some sprucing up,
yeah,
you
and
know.
if you took that to people that you know and presented it, would you get better?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was freaking out after I did my actual real buyer consultation and I was like, I need to change so many things. This is so silly. And so I did. I changed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
So each time I do it, I'm sure it'll change too.
right. So that is your homework. You need to get 2 mock buyer consultations. Now, if you're like, you know what, I actually got a real one,
That can
That's-
certainly be one of the 2.
that passes the test. Okay.
I tried to do the fake one before the real one, though.
Right. Okay, so then let's fast forward and say we're done with the listing portion. We did that, right? The reason we're not gonna mix these 2 together is because when you're brand new, there's just that we need to have buyer and seller separate, right? So after you finish the buyers, what we're gonna do then is do the exact same thing for sellers. And so, and I guess I need to back up a little bit. When I was talking about doing the video with Blake, then that is a sample of how I do it, right? And you can go back and watch it and you can add to it, you can take away whatever. My goal when I talked to Blake today is to kind of have like a video library of a couple of our top producing agents doing a buyer consult in a video format so that you can go in and watch that, right? Because when we have it with Ignite, it's buried and the video is super long and it's not handy and not everybody comes to every Ignite, right? So we need to make it more like user friendly, basically. So then when we come to listing appointment, the same thing. So I will do a listing appointment with Blake and we're just trying to figure out if we're going to do like he and I will do it or he'll just do the editing and whatever and it'll be somebody else with me. And then with that is the same thing, is your goal would be 2 mock listing appointments a week. And then after 2 weeks, your 5th one would be with somebody in the office. So you make an appointment and do a mock listing appointment with somebody in the office. And then your 10th one is going to be with Melissa, the broker. So you can, I mean, I know you guys get to see her like in your first transactions or if you have questions on stuff, but I think it'd be really good if you could present it to her. And she's so sweet and nice. And she's not like, I mean, like, I feel like if I told you guys you had to present to Greg Hartos, you would be like, oh my God, right? You don't get the
Does
same.
she know
feeling.
she's been volunteered for this?
Does Melissa know?
Does she know she's been volunteered?
Not yet. Nope.
Good.
She's gonna though.
Don't tell her, it'll be a surprise.
Yeah, just all of a sudden, hi, I'd like to list your home. Just walk into her office.
He would totally listen too. He wouldn't say anything.
You know what you guys should
"You
do?
Absolutely can.
You know what you should do is you should just make like an appointment with her. Like once you're ready, make your hour appointment and she'll be like, oh, Jessica, now so-and-so is going to meet with me. Do you know what's up? No, I don't know. Sounds important. An hour? Wow. Okay.
You show up and start talking
Oh my God. That'd be
and
so
then
funny.
ask for signatures.
Okay. I won't tell her. It'll be like a race. So you can get there first. Right. So, I just think that this, you know, the other thing too is that we're going to be getting a lot of people coming in that are new, like from K-Score. The numbers are pretty high as to you know, like how many referrals we have. We have 119, I think, in KW Prep, and we have 25 in Kaplan. And that I'm super proud of all the agents in this office because that is only from you guys. Like that's not marketing, that's not anything. And so the interesting thing when I met with Gene the other day is he's got a pipeline of, I mean, his pipeline's a lot bigger. And he's got 4 that have finished and are now onboarded and we don't have anybody yet. And he's like, yeah, we do these ads and we do this, and we do that. And I meet with people all day long. And then he goes, but you know, I haven't really talked to anybody in our office about getting leads that way. And I was like, so he's making it harder on himself, right? Because think of it, when you have a cold lead versus a warm lead, right? And then of course I was like, well, you know, what you could do is you could have 3 different meetings a week and then they could all be on a Zoom at the same time. And I feel like he was like, how about you shut up? No, he wasn't. He was very nice about it, but I started telling him what he should do. And he was like, yeah, okay. So anyway, what do you guys think of that? I would like your feedback. I'm not asking the other group their feedback. They're just being told.
We've earned that, right?
You have earned the right.
I think it's good. Practice is never bad.
Right?
That's what I was gonna say. Practice is never bad.
Yeah.
Can only help
Bad
you improve.
practice, bad, but high quality, know what you're there for.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And you know, when you're reaching out to people, obviously you're going to reach out to the easiest people first, right? That you're comfortable with. And I've always found when I'm like just completely transparent and honest, I'm like, so what do you guys think? And if it sounds super canned, they're like, well, it doesn't sound like you. I'm like, okay, well, what do you think I should do? And then they suggest it, right? Well, just be yourself, like stop reading off the thing or whatever it is, right? So you always learn something too about yourself when you do it. So okay. Any other questions on anything on that? Ouch, my knee gave out. Oh, I just had to spit my gum out. Okay, so we have our module. Tell me what our module was. It was 10, wasn't it?
Irene didn't send out the
What is she laughing about?
module. Was it 11? Because I watched 11 today. 10 was last week and I was in our text
But I
message.
thought we didn't do.
I did 10, but
We
I
didn't do
might be
10
behind a bit.
last week because we did family reunion.
Yeah, we fell
Okay, so it
down.
is 10 this time then.
We fell down. We fell down. All right.
But we got back up, and that's really what's more important.
Oh my God. I gotta get my paper, my printout. First.
Why does your watch band match your shirt?
Oh, it's what I do. Everything matches.
Called fashion, Jason. Look it up.
That is a complicated word with too many definitions to make me happy.
Says
Okay,
the guy in t-shirt and flannel.
okay. Talk to me about module 10. I don't know where my paper is. I don't know why I do it on paper. Why do I? Technology guru. Why do I use paper?
My mom said, if you can't say something nice,
Don't say anything at all.
take $20 to the gas station. Buy me a pack of smokes. Get out of here, kid.
Buy me a pack of smokes. Okay,
Back then it was a carton, but you know.
right. Okay, you can help me?
I'm watching you, yeah.
No, help me.
Help you what? Module 10?
It's about like choosing your words and taking ownership of your words. Or choosing words that where you take ownership. Instead of like, I don't know, like I can't do something, you might say I
Ah.
can, or like the example she used, it was like, I'm sorry I'm late, but then you, instead of saying that, say, you know, I left at this time thinking I had enough time, but I was wrong. Next time I'll do better, or something like that.
You know, I'll bring that one up because I think that's always a good place to start, because people do apologize for things a lot that aren't, I don't know, everybody grades that on a curve, if you will, but just say, I'm sorry for doing this, or I'm sorry for that. I often like to say thank you for your patience. Or thank you for being patient with me.
Thank you for waiting for me.
As opposed to, apologizing in that way, because I don't like apologies like that. It doesn't seem genuine. It starts to get canned and corny. But yes, Jess is always after me for one of the things where I like to use the word but that's because kind of I'm an ass. And she points out that instead of saying but, I should be saying and it just doesn't
That was
sound
an
the same.
example, yep.
But it is in place of but, because theoretically when you're speaking and you say, wow, Taylor, you're like the coolest guy I know, but you wear black t-shirts all the time. That it negates the whole first part of it. It makes it so it's like not a thing anymore.
It's
And
like when you're apologizing to somebody and you say, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
apology,
you're
it's not really an
sorry.
apology anymore because you used a but.
You butted your way out of the conversation. Don't do
My boyfriend
that.
gets mad at me because I do that all the time to him. I'm always like, I'm sorry, but he's like, you're not even apologizing to me anymore.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
And then
Sorry.
everybody's favorite about like
Sorry.
try. I'll try to do that for you. No, don't try. I intend to do that for you. It leaves me the wiggle room that I'm searching for with try, but it sure sounds a lot stronger than try.
Right, and the class bold has really pointed out
Class bold.
the class bold. That was a comma. The class bold has pointed out these words, right? And so when you're in that class, they have a bracelet that you wear, like one of those, purple bracelets. And you have to switch wrists. If you look at Cassandra, she's losing her shit. That's why she never has her camera on. She's
Faces he
dying.
makes are ridiculous.
I know. That's why I don't look. I can't look. Can't do it. I'd lose it. And see, I was gonna say, but, and so you start to notice when other people say it. So,
I intend to get better
yeah,
at that.
right.
I do.
Here's the one that really gets me is, so Olivia never says try, right? And
Does not.
it'll be like, do you want to try that on? And she can't say it. So she's got to be like, what are you going to attend that on?
I intend on that. I intend
I'm going
to.
to attend on putting this sweatshirt on to see if it is nice.
I intend to
Right.
find out if it fits. I intend to find out if it
I'm
fits.
gonna try it on. Nope, you're not. So, so don't try, try. There we go.
Maybe you just say, I'm gonna do it on.
Do-
There's no try, there's only do or do not, right? I'm gonna do it on. It's better than I do not, I'm gonna do not it on.
Imagine asking the store employee if there's anywhere you can do it on.
Yeah, you'd get kicked out.
Man. That-
I'm gonna wet my pants. I'm gonna go do it on. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Oh my God. What was the other one? Don't do it on?
There's no try, there's only do or do not. I'm gonna do not it on.
Do not it on. That's like a song. I think we could write a song. Do not it on.
But why, okay, so as much fun as we're having with the words, why is it important? At
Right.
the end of the day, why is that important? Why is using strong language more important than weak language?
Yeah. Well, I
Confidence.
notice it all the time when other people will say things. And I wonder, I'm like, I wonder if they're, when they say I'm gonna try and do that, I'm like, I wonder how much they're gonna.
One of the Kellerisms that you'll see on the wall here is when you speak, your cells listen. And if you're using strong language, it puts you in a much better frame of mind to accomplish what you're talking about. I mean, even when I said, the difference between try and intend, I mean, I'm using the word try, I'm using the word intend, and even there, what I said is, that way I still have the wiggle room, right? I mean,
Right.
I'm still trying to wiggle out of this versus I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do it. And look, there's no absolutes in the world, really. Maybe your mom loves you. That is about as close as you get to an absolute. And other than that, I don't think anybody, I mean, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. But if I say I try and do it, I've already made it less of a priority. I mean, immediately it's just not a priority.
Yeah.
And when you're using that language with somebody you're trying to work for, you're already establishing the fact that they're not the priority that they are in their own world.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I've ever thought of it that way, that like what you're saying to somebody is like, yeah, you might be important, but you might not.
It's going to depend a lot on other things that you,
Right.
the other person, have no control over. I'm going to try to help out with that, or I'm going to try to get that to you next week.
Right.
Great. It sounds like I'll get that in 3.
Right.
One of the favorites, and I think I've even talked about this before, and it really is, for me, has been the underpinning of a real mind shift, is changing have to get to. I get to do this. I don't have to take out the garbage. I get to. I live in a place where I've got a family that I love and I like to take care of, and I get to take out the garbage. I mean, yeah, do I have to do it? No, I can let it pile up. I get to do it. I get to do it. And that's a demonstration of things that I can do. I get to have an appointment later today. That's pretty cool. And when I start thinking about that way, it starts helping me with the mind shift. So sometimes the power words are for you, and sometimes they're for the person you're talking to. How many times have you asked somebody, you go up to somebody and say, what's wrong? And they're like, nothing,
Mhm.
right?
Well, perfect. Glad we solved that then.
Right.
Cool. We're out of the woods
Perfect.
already. In the book, it recommends what's troubling you. And it's almost as though when you walk into a store and somebody says, hey, can I help you? And you say, no, I'm just looking. It's just when somebody says what's wrong, the auto answer is nothing, or it's fine, or I'm good.
Yeah,
You say, hey, how
are
you doing today?
Mhm.
Good. I'm good.
I'm fine.
Which is a lot of times actually good, because like if you run into some people and they tell you how they're feeling, you're wishing you hadn't asked. So don't ask if you don't want to know.
Right.
But
Yeah.
what's wrong is an invitation for someone. I mean, that already starts the conversation super negative
Right.
and puts them in a defensive place, because it makes them, the indication is that whatever is bothering them is wrong. I mean, what's wrong? You're wrong. I'm literally talking to you, Mr. Wrong. And that's not the way you want to start a conversation if you're really trying to bridge a gap.
Mhm. Yeah, have you guys, I just yesterday I had a meeting with Olivia and John, and
I hate meetings.
I said, that gives me anxiety. And I think I said it one more time, and then Olivia's like, we're not gonna say that word anymore. And I'm like,
No more anxiety.
yeah,
Gone.
yeah,
Solved.
it's done, it's gone.
As Tom pointed out, solved.
No,
Glad
I-
we took care of that.
No more anxiety. And just finding out like what's behind it. Why do I feel
That's what's
like-
behind it.
right? Why do I feel anxiety, right? And then the irony of it all was I was listening to a podcast. I listened to Brian Buffini's, and the title of it was like something about anxiety, literally this week. And I was like, oh, what? And so I start listening to it, and it's very interesting on the way that, I mean, and that's why Olivia was saying it. Like when you put that out there, then yeah, that's gonna continue, right? And I thought of my daughter because she'll say, oh, well, I have anxiety, and it's like it's the title, right? Well, I can't do that because I have anxiety, and I'm like, what? Right? So then I start thinking about my own kid, like that's a choice, right? Like, yes, I get like you have depression and anxiety, and you're using it to just like, when I ask you about dinner, what you want, you're like, well, I can't figure that out because I have anxiety. And I was like, that is not appropriate, right? And so she's starting to use it as a crutch. And
Defense mechanism.
yeah. So it made me think like, oh God. And I'm just going along with it. Like, oh yeah, okay, you do. Yeah. Okay, what do you need me to do? Right. And then I was like, oh, I'm probably not helping her.
No. Does she hate it?
Does she hate what?
Yeah. Hate everything.
It? Yeah.
Everything. I hate everything. I hate everything.
Sometimes. you don't
Jesus,
know
how could
who's
you be such
walking
an
through the
angry
door.
human being? I mean, at the end of the day, don't you probably just prefer something else, right? I don't hate beets.
Right.
No, I do. I hate beets, but
I like pickled beets.
they're disgusting.
Pickled beets are good.
They taste like dirt.
Well, they live in dirt.
Buy dirt, yes. Eat dirt, no. Gary Keller,
Buy dirt.
Jason,
Oh,
put
wait a
them
minute, I was like,
together,
wait,
you
what?
get that.
Buy dirt.
Buy
yes.
dirt, yes. Eat dirt, no.
Yeah. Right. yeah, Okay. I got it.
So how do you revise that situation? I mean, how do you go about changing those words when you find yourself using them? What's a strategy that somebody might have or uses to kind of help self-regulate their own words like that?
I think it has to start with self-awareness of what the words you're using.
Right.
How do you get
And
that
then-
awareness without your wife pointing it out every time?
Oh, I guess
I think picking a phrase, like, I think focusing one at a time, because if you're trying to focus on too much, you're gonna lose it. So.
Yeah.
Like if it's, I can't because of anxiety, maybe it's reframing. Yes, I have anxiety and I'm not gonna let it control this
Right.
situation.
Right.
Yes, I really like the fact that you actually chose a double, I mean, the can't thing.
Mhm.
The can't is a huge part of, I can't do that.
Mhm.
I just choose not to, or I choose
Yeah.
to do something else. I mean, I could do it. And there's different places where things make more sense. And I'll tell you, I have definitely used the word can't intentionally to make people angry. And if that's what you're trying to do, trust me, it'll work. I can't help you with that. That's not going to help the situation. But letting them know that that's not an option, you know, that we're going to be able to pursue today, that's a whole different statement. And you know, if it were me and I was working on these right now, which I'm always working on something, can't or but would be the two places I would start. Can't or but, because those ones are the big ones that really undermine what you're trying to get across most of the time, unless you're intentionally trying to piss someone off, in which case can't is a good place to start. And you can always throw a but in there because that'll help.
Oh my God, throw a butt in there. Yeah, I'm looking at the list here. I hate. And so it says instead use I prefer. And I remember, you know, growing up, my stepmom would say, oh, hate is a strong word. And
It's an awfully strong word to describe that little minor inconvenience that you just hated on.
right.
But of course, when you use the word hate, colorism being what your cells listen to you when you speak,
Right.
then you start to get angry. You start to get anxious. You start to have those things build up. And if those are words you're using frequently, they're going to cause problems because it's just going to magnify in your own mind.
Right. Yeah, this this podcast that I was listening to this morning about anxiety was he said it was so interesting because I've mentioned to some of you guys that it would be I mean, I think it's healthy for all of us to have a journal and write down the thoughts that you have that are negative. And what he said was because you're telling that story, right? And that's what it is it's a story. Because if you don't put it on paper in the journal, you continually tell yourself that story. And then if you're like, you know what, I'm okay, I'm fine, I just need some time to think. And he goes, and then you go home, something happened, right? And then you go home and then you have 72 hours to think. And what do? It gets worse and worse and worse if you don't talk to somebody about it, right? Because you're thinking about it and then you're like, well, what about this? Well, what about that, right? And so he said, put it down on paper. And then he said, and then I want you to read it to me, right? I want to hear what it is. And he goes, so I had this dad who was suicidal, and I started talking to him and he started writing stuff. And one of the things was, I'm a horrible father. He's like, okay, I know for a fact you're not a horrible father, right? And then he had something else. He's like, now this, yeah, you did that and you screwed up. And guess what? We're moving on, right? That's not a reason to be in this mindset, right? And so it made me think of, like, Grace, you and I were talking about it, and you started, and Tenley did too, started writing down positive things, right? So for the negative thing, now I'm going to combat that, and I'm going to write down something positive about me or my mindset or something I did. And then, you know, I mean, think of when you're like, oh man, you know, like I lost that listing, right? And then you start telling yourself this story, you write down the story, and then you're like, and guess what else? I had an amazing practice buyer consultation. I had an amazing time calling that person, right?
Or even directly related, and I learned that this is a way not to do something, or I learned that this is something that I can do better at, or, I mean, you can not only make it positive, but also really reflect on the positives that come out of it. And that's sometimes really hard in the moment, but
It is.
but you're supposed to correct
And-
me.
I'm like, why does he keep saying that?
Why
It's
does he keep
and.
butting?
In my head, I kept going, and
You have an opportunity.
I
though, to
think the
start
butt's appropriate in that sentence.
rewriting it right there, but you really do have the opportunity to rewrite it right then and there.
Yeah.
And I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. I still have a dog downstairs who needs to eat, and all of the things that I am, even though this event that's out of my control has befallen me. You know, I'm still who I was 10 minutes ago before I knew that.
Yeah.
I just have additional information now that I don't like.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to request that you guys do some journaling.
No
And-
buts.
Write down the stories that you're telling yourself. I know I was joking with my nutritionist coach dude that I am toxically positive.
Toxic positivity is also a
Toxic
problem. Do not
positivity.
fall into that trap.
Right. And so I was at the bookstore and I took a picture of the book and I was like, oh my God, it's the thing. Look, it's a book. And so I know that I can be that way too much. Right. And then also my family would be like, oh my God, you're not positive. Right?
They
I
know.
got them to be like, yeah, well, let me tell you. So, and because I listened to this podcast today, it said, like, gratitude. Gratitude is the biggest thing that's going to help you get out of that mindset, right? And so, I instantly texted my husband and both my girls, a gratitude, like, thank you so much for everything you do. I love you, Mom, or whatever. And my husband came back and he says, thank you for saying that, because sometimes it doesn't feel like that. And I'm like, that I love him. And I was like, oh, and what my coach said is, and I told him, I said, everybody else gets the best of me, but you don't. Right. And that's like, it makes me super sad. And I'm like, well, why? Right. Like I'm with him the most out of everybody. Right. And the kids.
No.
And
You're not.
okay, well,
You're
I'm
with
not,
him,
but
you're not with him.
right.
You're not present.
And when I'm not with him, right, then when I am with him, I'm not positive, right? I'm negative. And so I was like, I want you to see the Jessica that everybody else sees. And he's like, oh, like, well, that'd be nice. Right. Okay, well, don't get too used to that. Right. And it's like just that gratitude. So like that made his day. Right. It was like 8:45. I texted him that, and he's like, oh, so like, don't forget how much your words mean to other people. And even if it's just a text, like saying, that, we were challenged at the gratitude, what is it? Gratitude,
Gratitude is fine.
attitude, whatever. We were challenged to do like a text to somebody each day, tell them that you're grateful, but you can't repeat it. So it was, like Chad said yesterday at the meeting, he is up to day 8. And he's like, it means more for me too. Okay. All right. John just showed me something important. Yeah, thank you. Supposed to reserve a hotel room in Austin, Texas, and apparently I did it in Wisconsin Dells.
Austin, Maine.
I don't, it was yeah, it was I think I did the right one. It was from Bryn. John says hello.
Hi, John.
Let's
Hi.
see.
Lots of
He
people.
goes, oh, who is that?
Oh, there's a lot of people. Someone's drinking coffee.
Yeah.
already.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
it's so dark. Why
Yeah, it
were
was
we
dark.
looking
I
at
couldn't
them so
see
dark?
anybody.
Oh my gosh, couldn't even see myself.
Someone's cold, looks like.
So
That's me.
Taylor,
Yep, I'm not.
who's that?
Tom.
Tom,
Yep.
Amy,
Yep.
Cassandra, Grace.
Well, I know Grace, yeah.
And this guy here,
Oh wow, what?
Who's he?
That's John.
that's John,
Oh, that's John,
right here.
right here.
Oh my
So
God.
just the one to let you know, we didn't know if we were transporting from Wisconsin to Texas for every day. for
Yes,
meetings.
every day. We will
It's a
be
commute.
commuting. We'll be
Didn't know if you
commuting.
got a private jet for us.
Yeah. Okay, I'll fix it. God.
What's in Texas, Jessica?
The
Austin.
mega,
Mega
leadership
leadership
camp.
is in April, and we just got plane tickets.
not
And
mine, not many, mega.
and I went off the website that Bryn, our regional admin, sent us, and apparently I just reserved rooms in Wisconsin Dells.
Well, I see where you'd rather go.
It's Kalahari.
Right?
I mean,
I didn't say bye to the peeps.
oh, he didn't say
I
goodbye.
didn't say goodbye. I'm sorry.
Bye.
See ya.
Oh my God, say goodbye. Okay, so we're over time. So I just want to tell you guys that I appreciate all of you and that I love my job and I love being, oh my God, I don't, look at,
Don't love him.
I don't
You're
love-
babysitting today, Jess.
Oh my God, completely.
Usually,
What's happening back behind Cassandra?
there's some sneaky Pete's back there.
He's trying to creep behind so no one sees.
Epic fail.
Put him on camera.
You gotta do it, make it show. There you go. See, this is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. If you're gonna be
Oh,
stuck here,
yeah.
own it. Own it.
On that counter. Oh my God, you guys are so much fun. Oh, and I seriously need to go to the bathroom now because it's been too long. So,
But yeah, absolutely. Thank you all.
And
Thanks, super
And-
important. And I really do strongly believe that it can be the backbone of your day.
yeah.
And if that's true, that's a great place to start your day. You know, they used to say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I would suggest to you that gratitude is the most important meal of your day. And that's the place to start. And if you get there and you start that and you build a habit, your life will not immediately turn into the most amazing thing that's ever happened, but it's the best way to inoculate you. And it's the best way to inoculate you in the future. And it makes small things go away. And when you have big problems, then all you have to fight is the big one, not all the little small ones that were there too. So
Right.
that's why I think it's so important.
Love you guys.
Awesome.
Grateful
Thank
for
you.
Jessica.
Yay.
Bye. We'll talk to you
Bye.
soon. Okay, I'm running to the bathroom.
Don't fall.
This is happening. Oh, it's so hot.